You're on the other side today.
Sure. How does it work on the other side? I'm never here.
I was like, I'm gonna flip the script on him. I'm gonna just turn the table.
Sure.
I should have been barefoot though.
With socks.
Oh, with socks.
Yes. No shoes, but socks.
Why?
Comfortability. You're in your lounge. You're feeling free. I sometimes cross my legs on that chair.
Yeah.
And that's why people talk. You're with a friend, chatting, having a chat.
I think let's talk about the art of conversation.
Sure.
Because sometimes when we're watching it, when it begins, you're like, I can't believe it's a tell-all. 2, you lose the sense of you being from the outside.
Sure.
You're now inside.
Immersed.
Right?
Yeah.
And is it because of the environment you've created there?
Absolutely.
Were you intentional about it?
Very intentional. The first 2 years, people didn't understand what we were doing because we weren't trying to be entertaining per se in the traditional sense, where you are trying to find a clickbait moment or talk about controversial things.
Yeah.
But one day the people caught on that this guy creates a vulnerable space. This guy creates an element of, I'm chatting to a friend in a lounge, perhaps a friend whom I could deem as close as my therapist.
Yeah.
And there just happens to be cameras. Oh my gosh, when it airs, there are cameras and other people are watching. You know? It was very intentional because somebody calls our space therapy. My editor, TKJ, he calls it therapy because you get in there and you can offload and feel lighter without disrespecting everything you've built. Because I have so many personalities, celebrities on the show, it's taken time to build what they've built. And I honor that and respect that. So you can be personal and respectful. It's a line that many people struggle to know where it is, but we found that line and we are thriving in it. Yeah.
How long did you find that line?
Sure. It's
because like you said, for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years.
No one got it.
And
you could have easily said, because number one, Lungelo, you're not coming from a background of broadcasting.
Yeah. I come from a background of engineering. Yes. So science
engineer your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Science has principles that if you follow them, you get results. And mostly in engineering, when you see a factory, a building, those are the things I do in my other life.
Yeah.
It took a concept plan, it took an inception plan, it took a feasibility study. And by the 3rd year, when we commission and we turn on something, there has been a 2-year isolation where you didn't see, where we were designing, going back and forth. So for me to be 2 years in and not see results that other people deem I should be seeing is not worrying at all. It's a normal process.
You've been
process.
there.
I understand process and the power of process. You have to remain consistent in the process, because what do you mean you want results 2 years in when people have been broadcasting for 20 years and they've become household names for 20 years?
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey has 4,000 episodes. I'm on episode 200. I've got so much to do.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought Oprah. You brought up Oprah.
Sure.
When I watch your podcast, and we'll come to how you choose your guests.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a nice golden thread there.
Yeah.
However, there's something that you do which I don't think anyone can claim. It can only happen, like you said, if the space is authentic.
Sure.
Right? And when I watched you, number one, as a guy versus a female host, I was like, this guy has an opera in him. He's got an opera ilk in him.
Sure. Thank you.
By making people open up, feel vulnerable, but safe. Right? And that explains why your producer will say it's therapy.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it intentional? That 3-4 guests, you'll ask them a question. Is that what you're going for? Are you going for that tier to come down? Because we have hosts for years on radio and even on TV.
Sure.
Who will chase that, by the way? I wish I could get a tier. Why? Because Oprah has made it a box to tick.
Sure. A peek on an interview.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That, you have really landed. Yet, when you look at it in a broader sense and broader view, bruh, it has to be something. It's not a question.
Yeah.
It has to be something.
An atmosphere.
What is it?
An atmosphere that in that room we're able to create. Firstly, when I'm driving to studio, there is an energy I tap into through the prayers and the music that I'm playing in the vehicle as I drive to studio, because I need to rid of myself. And when I say that, is because myself has burdens, myself has bills, myself has complications in my life. I've got things I'm dealing with in my personal life. And by the time I park in the car park, I need to have let go of all of that and say, Lungelo, it's no longer about you. Hence, even I do not ask a lot of questions, because I understand it's not about me. I also understand that this person has millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, and they've built something and they're sacrificing, either because their agent or PR person or my producer who contacted them said, please, can you give us an hour of your time to come and be here and somehow summarize your story? And this will be our story arc, because at the moment, this is what you're comfortable with. So this person has given up so much of who they are to be on camera and speak to the hundreds of thousands of people that will be watching and consuming this content. Who am I not to be humble enough to give them a space where they feel like they're 110% welcome, they're 110% safe, and more than anything, what they've built and who they are is completely respected. I have to honor that. I always say, in a production like mine, a podcast, if it was a factory line, going back to being an engineer, if it was a factory line, the guest is the product. If we were making tissue here, the guest and them sitting down is the product. So it's up to me when I'm sitting there and the cameras are on and the microphone is on. Is it going to be a double ply, or is it going to be a flimsy tissue that breaks as you try and use it? I have to be sensitive to that. I am very, very intentional about having a conversation with the guest. If you notice, I don't have notes, right?
Yes.
I have show prep, which I've done preparing for the conversation.
That's right.
It's in my head, but I don't have notes, because when I speak to T, and T, how did that happen on that day? And I don't know what happened on that day. It's an authentic answer you're going to give me. And from that answer, and being a sensitive person who's an empath with other people's stories, we then develop a conversation from that. I will never know everything about you. I will never know what happened truly in your divorce. I have an outline. The newspaper might say, you divorced 50%, but you're going to come and introduce to me that you guys are co-parenting via emails. That's a whole new conversation that we can start there and have a conversation about. And I have to be sensitive about, because I'm not an expert on everything. I'm not a parent. I'm not a husband yet. So I don't know all these things, but as a human being, I can relate to it. And so I have to tap into the human being side of me to be able to find that vulnerability from a person. So I'd say that's the intentional part, is to be authentic and vulnerable. But no, I'm not chasing the tear. If it comes, it was meant to be.
You just tuned in. This is Lungelo from Engineer Your Life, and the podcast. You must check it out. I think you're intentional by having female guests, though.
You think so?
Yeah. I think you have a bias.
I have a bias, ne?
Yeah.
I'd say female guests are more prone to speaking about their truth. True. Two, I'll go to the other side and not compliment them only. Female guests can be more manipulative. And want to use the platform to drive a narrative about what they are going through, either through a career, an ex, or paint a narrative about a family situation. I had a recent guest, I won't mention them, but they're trying to paint their family in a certain narrative. And by doing that, you can see men tend to, not all, men tend to suffer in silence. We don't want to speak about the divorce. I don't want to speak about how it made me feel.
It's a tiger. It doesn't cry.
Yeah, I don't want to speak about going to therapy. Why must I tell my friends that I go to therapy? But I'll post the car on Instagram. I'll post the vacation, or I'll post the new girlfriend to show you guys that I've moved on. But I won't speak about the gray, messy parts of me crying alone because I messed up my own marriage. Also, men are usually the one who mess up these situations. So not many people want to go tell hundreds of thousands of people how much of a mess I am, especially popular people.
Yeah. Have you ever had a guest, and because of how popular that episode was, it led to you being their PR machine. And what do I mean? You having to answer for them. Because they come to Lungelo, because now you are the source.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. It does happen where I've been emailed after a conversation. Now people want more information about the person, either by tabloids or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't reply to that.
Course.
Also, guests also get hooked to the different fame. Podcast fame is different. You record in studio, maybe you release it in a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You continue with your life. Yeah. It's the normal 1-2 notifications. You wake up one day when that thing airs, your TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything is blowing up.
Yes.
You've got engagement that you haven't had in a while on all these platforms. And people come to my producer and say, can we have a part 2 next week? It doesn't work like that. I guess that fame element too from the guests themselves can be addictive, which can be problematic because the audience is interested in your story and they have a short attention span. They'll be interested in you in 1, 2, 3 days. They'll talk about the conversation, but are they truly there for you? I'm not sure. They're there for engineer your life because they'll be there on the next episode and the next episode and the next episode.
Yeah.
They're here for this community and what we're building here, because what we've built on the platform is that from every person, even if it's only 2 minutes, you will learn something. Because from every human being, there's a human experience that you can relate to.
That's right.
Yeah. So agents, PR people of the celebrities and the personalities, they definitely come to us, speak to the producer, bring their people.
Okay.
But I'd be intrigued to know how it pays off for them.
Are you aware that sometimes you're used as a PR machine?
Absolutely. I'm aware that somebody comes to me to drive a narrative, but I always say, you're on the wrong platform. I'm very intelligent. I'm very intelligent and I stand by that. I'm very smart.
Yeah.
You could come in with preparing yourself for 45 minutes with your PR agent about what you're going to talk about. I'm going to throw you off. I'm going to ask things that are going to throw you off.
Yeah.
In fact, we've had guests ask us, please take down the episode because my PR agent sent me prep. I didn't speak the prep when we were recording. The PR agent is seeing it on air when it's airing that I didn't speak the prep.
Sure.
And then we're like, but you signed a content release form. Life doesn't work like that.
Oh.
Doesn't work like that. That all of a sudden you realize that you overshared now that it has aired.
Ouch.
It happens at least once every 3 months.
So how many times do you record a month at least?
Sure. We put out 8 episodes a month, so 2 episodes a week.
What?
Yeah, 2 episodes a week.
That's a big churn out.
Yeah.
That's 2 a week.
2 episodes a week every Tuesday and Friday at 12. We put out 2 episodes a week. So I feel like I'm always in studio, always on site.
Yeah.
I don't know where I live.
Always working.
Yeah, always work. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
You're an electrical engineer, bro.
Yes.
Lungelo, they paid for this.
Ne?
And then when, like me, off ramp.
Minangi rides because I'm still in it.
Oh no.
Yeah. I didn't off ramp. I'm still very much in
Making
it.
me feel bad.
You can come back. It's a lovely feel.
Yeah.
I'm an electrical engineer. I'm professionally registered with the Engineering Council. Got registered in 2022.
Okay.
Still active. Still designing. In fact, when I was waiting here, some of my team members were texting me, asking me something about work. It's really still my day-to-day experience. I love it. Because
what is it though?
Worlds.
Because I think let's take our listener on a journey.
Okay.
Of how an engineering mind works.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that they relate to the fact that I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. But here I am.
Yeah.
So what is it about engineers? What is it about accountants that they'll find something, even legals, even lawyers, right? They'll find something outside that is totally flowing, not parallel. The other perpendicular, whatever, I don't care what it is. They'll find something that is on the other side of what they are trained to do.
I love that you said trained. So trained, engineering, accounting, it's a very textbook-based experience.
Yeah.
You go through the schooling process, you get to grade 12, you go to university, you do your undergrad for 4 years, you do your postgrad, you do the articles, whatever, to get to where we are right now. So we are trained. It's a very human trained experience, science-based.
Yeah.
I believe that art is very close to God.
Yeah.
Art is very close to God because art is an experience.
Yeah.
Art is an emotion. Art is spiritual. And the podcast for me is a very spiritual experience. It's me speaking to God through conversation with other people.
That's right.
So God brings the humans on earth, and here I am saying, God, use me as your vessel to connect to you and the very same people. And I think deep down as human, we're all in search for the God in us. And that's what art does. I think contrary to popular belief, even the accountant who's a DJ, music to them is a spiritual experience. So they are connecting to their inner being, which is their God, by expressing the art, by creativity. So I have this trained side of me that is a human experience, but here I am operating fully in purpose in God through this conversation platform that we continue building. It's just that for me.
What do you say to someone who wants to explore that side of their life, but they feel it may tarnish or dilute who they are on a business card?
I love that, because I do believe that when I show up in business right now, people who are traditional business people, there are who feel I'm diluted.
Yes.
There are definitely people who are going to feel, he's not a good enough engineer. He just sits on camera and talks. He posts nice videos.
Exactly.
He posts pictures. But you know what? That's insecurity, because you are one-dimensional and you weren't bold enough to live all your dreams. I'm living all of my dreams at the same time. When I left Durban, quick story, when I left Durban to move to Joburg to pursue the podcast at the scale that it's at now, I left in October 2023. The podcast was on 10,000 subscribers. Today, October 2025, it's on 184,000 subscribers. So we've multiplied the impact 18 times.
That's right.
In a year.
Sure.
Over the first 2 years where it was just 10,000 subscribers. It's because
percentage-wise?
Right?
1,800.
Right? Because I knew that the dream was demanding more of me now, and it demanded for me to be fully focused in it. But when I left, and my colleagues who sort of knew what the podcast was, what is he doing? Is he crazy? Today they are my fans. Today they call me and they are interested in what I'm doing in the podcast. Today they want everybody to know that they know me and they used to work with me because I dared to go after my dream. And I'm sorry, but they're still sitting in that same chair, same role, same position. I've even been able to create time for myself and diversify myself in my engineering space because I just went after my dream. Perhaps God was saying, go after truly who you are and watch even the trained part of you open up more. I'm making more even as an engineer. I'm making more in the podcasting business. The influence, the impact is exponential. Every single day we are growing. The reach, the podcast is on about almost 20 million views on YouTube only. TikTok, I won't even count. There are videos on 5 million views. Cumulatively, we're now doing 2 million views or more per month. So had I not gone after my dreams, who must go after them for me?
So you took your training part and you engineered your other side of life.
Absolutely.
Every time this song plays and a guest of mine chooses it, I get this uncomfortable feeling because of the word was. You are going nowhere, Lungelo, and even until you are living forever, bro. Don't tell me you were here. You are here. You must change the title of this song. There's something uncomfortable for me about this song. Especially when it's chosen by somebody as bright as you, somebody who knows where they are going as you, somebody who's intentional as you. I can't help it, man. It's like,
But it speaks to impact, this song. I think more than anything.
You still haven't chipped 10% of the surface.
5, not even 5.
Thank you. What is 200 episodes? What is 200,000 followers?
Child's play.
Come on, man. A child flipping bottles can get that on TikTok. You still have a long way to go. You are here, not was.
Thank you, sir.
Now, the main thing that I think you saying engineering your life sounds to me like a help book, self-help book. right?
I hear you.
Which one should read, and then I'll find to-do list.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm engineering my life.
Sure.
But when I watch the podcast, I still have that in mind. It says, what is the engineering your life part here? What is it?
It's the human story being relayed by the human to other humans. So as a human being, I will fall in love. I will be cheated on. I will divorce.
Yeah.
I will maybe never fall in love. Maybe never have a child. Maybe never get married. So each guest has such a unique story, but relatable, because there is one of these people that I just mentioned that is being catered to. And here I'm saying, this is how I navigated it. And you can decide if how I navigated it was right or wrong. And before the end
right or wrong for you.
or for you.
Yeah.
And before we end this conversation, we will also reflect on the impact of driving drunk that day and what it did to my life, and me going to jail, or me facing a court case because of a partner, or me dealing with a divorce for the past 7 years and now I can't move on and I'm broken. So you then decide from yourself is, how do I engineer my life? Do I make the same mistake that Anim Tembo made in how she handled her divorce? Or do I reflect and saying, wait a minute, I'm going through this right now. If I continue this route, I'm going to make the same mistake she did.
Yeah.
That's how I'm engineering my life.
Yeah.
That's how you can engineer your life from the other person's experience.
So basically you're saying you are watching a master class.
Sure.
It may be or may not be for you.
Yes.
Or there might be a pearl that may work towards you engineering your own life.
Correct.
In that very story.
Yes.
Which I sometimes feel like we pick guests, like I picked you.
Yeah.
But the guest chose me. You know, like a book will choose you?
Yes.
Who was that for you? You picked them to come to the show, but they left you feeling like you were their student because you've grabbed so much from them. It could be more than one, but what was it? What was the one thing that today you're like, I live by this?
Sure. I've had so many.
I know.
I've had so many. I had that moment when I hosted, funny enough, one of the most viewed episodes on the channel. It's on 1.1 million views with Lebo Keswa.
Okay.
It was such an organic experience. She came there unfiltered, on PR. She's an middle-aged older woman who's living boldly in queerness and being a lesbian.
Yeah.
So whether you identify with queerness or not, she was saying, here I am, boldly living my life, boldly making the mistake, boldly taking accountability for the mistake, boldly even hurting for others to see that it's okay to feel hurt by something. And I'm moving on from this. No matter how you depict this, I'm boldly connecting with this and feeling hurt and accepting that I've been hurt by it. Recently, I also had Tamim Ngolo. He played Senzo on Generations. Oh my gosh, what an engaging conversation we had. He spoke to me like a man. Remember, I'm new to popularity and fame.
That's right.
When I look at, I don't want to count the first 2 years, so I'm 1 year famous.
Yeah.
I'm 1 year famous.
Yeah.
And here I am with a person who's been famous for over 15 years, and he was telling me about how he navigated this gross fame that he had. And he was telling me the mistakes he made of thinking he's super than everything.
That's right.
Of how he lost his relationships, his fiance, because of that fame. So I'm grappling with this in my personal life that people may not see.
Yes.
And then I take it and I apply it to my life. I'm like, oh, Lungelo, wait a minute. Even the money that's coming with this, right? I'm learning from people who've been moneyed and famous and saying, I lost it when they come onto the show, because I'm like, so that's how to not handle money that is not sustainable. Because media money is not sustainable. I hardly know many people in front of the camera who say I have a permanent contract for being in front of the camera.
That's right.
It's all freelancing. It's all view dependent. For us on YouTube, for me and my team,
dependent.
It's dependent on views.
Relevance dependent.
It's dependent on how somebody who decides to make a TikTok speaking ill of me feels for that day, and then the brands who sponsor us will say, no, we're pulling back our money. It's so fictitious.
That's right.
So
Fickle.
these conversations I have, for me, actually remind me, there's so much more to you than this. In fact, I don't think anybody knows who my friends are, because my friends, I'm very intentional about keeping them for me. It's all I have left now. Now that I've given my life to the internet, my friends, my family, whom I love, where I live, what I drive. I'm sorry, I'm still from the school of thought that nobody should know what you drive.
Thank you.
They should bump into you in real life and see what you drive.
Yeah.
They shouldn't really necessarily know what type of clothes you like to wear, what phone you have. It should be a human lived experience that, wow, you love this perfume. So that when you tell other people in life next time, you're like, look, it always used to smell like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to share it to you on an Instagram story. So for me, keeping myself for myself is paramount. It's key. It's everything.
And that's the lesson you learn from others.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, I love Lungile. I love his podcast. I'm not a fan of podcasts because we know like podcast culture more South Africa, but I want to engineer your life. I'm always set for that podcast. And I have one question for Lungile. Lungile, how's your heart today? Thank you. Bye.
Answer the question.
My heart is overflowing. My heart is free. My heart is at peace. I'm operating definitely in my calling. I can't go into the shop anymore in the airport though without being asked that question, either by a security guard, by a cashier, by a stranger. So I love that it's resonating with the community, because how are you is surface level.
That's right.
And how's your heart speaks to, I care about you.
Yeah.
It says...
And don't ask it and you don't have time to listen.
Absolutely. So it speaks to a deeper meaning to understanding a person's situation. And even if you can't do anything for them, you're at least going to give them a hug that they wouldn't have gotten.
Right? You have moved Durban, Joburg. What stops you from taking this thing internationally? I'm sure there are some people you want to talk to.
Definitely. Scaling, as I said, is a process. And I'm willing to wait out the process because there are things you have to put in place to be able to scale. As I said, we're only in year 3. There's so much more to do. True. Once again, my reference, Oprah was 24 years in before she recorded her last episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show.
That's right.
I'm still 31 years old.
Come on.
I'm still very young.
Yeah.
Even though the people saying go mom, I'm like, ish, but I could be married, so I don't know if I'm that young. It's not time for that too. It's okay.
Yeah. Are you still chasing some names?
Names? Intriguing enough.
No. Let me rephrase that question.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier on, there's a golden thread.
Yes.
What is it? I know I'm asking you USP, but what is it?
Yes.
Who do you go for? Who do you say to your producer, we need to have that person or not that person?
So I've got 2 content producers.
Okay.
I think they speak to each other more than they speak to me.
True.
When we shoot, we usually shoot 2 or 3 episodes on the same day. And I get the names and the times the night before. So my calendar is booked out for the month by the producers.
Yeah.
That's how much I trust them. They're both after graduates who are content production specialists. They understand the ethos of the show. They spend enough time around me to understand my values and the principles of the show. So, in fact, it's not me who goes and says, I want that person. I'd say in a month of 8 episodes, I probably request 1 person. The other 7 is not me.
Will this one person be somebody you bumped into or somebody you read about? What would it be?
Something I read about. Friends. My friends love using me for their own indabas that they want. They'll send me a WhatsApp and say, Ngani, usibani, ngeke mlethe phela manje kade. So that happens.
Yeah.
So I think with radio too, content is everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's literally probably just 1 person out of 8 is my decision.
Yeah.
The rest, it's the beautiful content team that I have who understand what I stand for, and not just what I stand for, what the production stands for.
Yeah.
Because as much as I'm the executive producer and the founder and the host, there's 7 people in the team. right? These are 6 other livelihoods that the production takes care of.
Sure.
Of course, the buck comes to me,
Yeah.
but 6 other people who are not engineers like me, who are fully into this production. And this production is the reason they can go home and live. It's the reason they can pay rent.
Yeah.
It's the reason they can put petrol in a car or pay for an Uber. What a privilege for God to allow my passion to feed other people.
That's right.
So they also need to have a say in how this direction must go. I may be the brains of it, but they're the hand. Another person is the leg. Another person is the neck.
Yeah.
Another person is the limb. People always say, if Lungelo is not there, the production won't go on. But if the episode is not shot in 4K as well, then it will be rubbish. If the sound is horrible, it will be rubbish. If the graphics are bad, it will be rubbish. So every single moving part is important. And I have to take cognizance of that. Hence the content and the direction that it's going.
Where do you draw the line in terms of, because I can imagine when you started, engineering life needed to fund the podcast life.
Absolutely. For 2 years. The 2 years I was fully funding it.
But now when did you say stop funding it? Podcast, you better stand up now.
You better stand up and fund yourself. Team, I need better content now. Apparently I'm strict. Apparently I'm a strict boss.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm very organized. So I think that came into place. Yeah. I'm like, team, we need to start going out and finding things that make sense for the direction of the production. It's been a baby enough now. We're no longer a toddler. And because in the internet space, 3 years is a long time, right? In the internet space, 3 years is probably 20 years in real life.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, we're 20 now, we're an adult. So let's get to business. Let's commercialize in the deals, in the ads that we put into the show, in the live reads, also in the number of views. And in the number of views, it means the content must be positioned in this way.
That's right.
It means the short clips on TikTok. I think our TikTok is on almost 300,000 followers. We need to position we need a TikTok strategy, just a TikTok strategy.
Yeah.
We need just an Instagram strategy. We need just the Facebook strategy. Facebook, we're on almost 150,000 there.
Yeah.
So we just need different strategies for the different platforms to create the holistic media house that we are creating now. It's no longer a YouTube channel, it's a media house.
How come you haven't jumped yet? By that I mean, people, when they finally find something they're passionate about, right? They will leave where the bread is coming from and follow the passion, because it makes them live. There's something that it ignites a fire in them.
The beauty of saying I'm living all my dreams is because even though it was a human trained process to become an engineer, many of the times through my parents, they allowed me to make the decision to choose my own career, to choose what I wanted to study, to go to the university of my choice. So many of these things were a conscious decision even when I was younger, and still are a conscious decision right now. And as an engineer, you contribute to society in a different way. Here I'm contributing with my voice, with the microphone, with my voice and the conversations. Here I'm practically contributing through calculations and bringing products. I'm working a lot at the moment with projects with hospitals. People don't know that while they're sleeping in the hospital, I'm responsible for many generators around the province that are working. The reason that they have backup energy supply and solar energy, I'm part of the team that works on that. And you're like, pay doctors more, pay this more, rightfully so. But there's also an engineer in the process who makes sure the hospital and the infrastructure is working and is functional.
Yeah.
And for me, it's still a contribution to society. You don't have to just be words and a self-help motivational book. I'm practically contributing here to society. So still, I'm feeling that part of me that just wants to be a vessel that God is using.
Projects that you know about, that you've worked on?
Sure. There's a recent South Rand Hospital generator project that we worked on. So now South Rand Hospital is fully autonomous when there's no power. There's also a solar plant there. See, now I'm giving the government free.
Yes.
free advertising.
Yeah.
I do a lot of condition assessments of facilities around the province. So before the government can give capex, which is budget for a project, they need us, the engineers, first to go do a condition assessment and rate how much and how urgent this needs and how much it's going to cost before the whole process of where you see inverted commas tenderpreneurs come in and start building.
Yeah.
So there's so much that goes into infrastructure and the processes that build infrastructure. There's also a plant while I was still in Durban called Alco NCP. At the time, during COVID, it was one of the few plants that were making 99% alcohol for the sanitizers.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was beautiful that I got to work even during COVID. I had that level 5 certificate where you could work because we were building and expanding the factory at a rapid pace to be able to produce more alcohol so that we can save lives. So to you, it's like, he's building a factory for the private sector, but the bigger effect at the time was that it was saving lives. So there's still purpose in that. It might look like a calculation on a piece of paper or a drawing on a software, but the final product is always impeccable.
24 hours, are they enough?
They are.
For Lungelo?
Yeah.
You don't need more?
I don't need more. I always say, I feel like I'm always in studio. I'm always on site. I like to rest. I go to church. I see my friends. It all can be done. It really all can be done. But I think the hustle culture made it trendy to say, I need more hours in a day. Push, push. Don't sleep. Take time to rest. Take time to go on holiday. Take time to love who you love. Take time to receive gifts and be loved back so that you can build yourself and pour from a cup that is full. There's enough time in a day. There is enough time in a day. I also think people who say there's not enough time in a day are people who are driven by money. I'm sorry. Be able to want to make things and achieve things, but it's okay to not achieve. It's okay to have a goal of making 3 million rand this year and only make 1.5. You're in South Africa after all, Lungelo. You live a very high life compared to the 99% of South Africans, if we look at it in retrospect.
That's right.
So if my goal for this year was 150,000 subscribers and I only get 147,000, I am not complaining.
Come on.
I'm far from complaining. I'm appreciative. I'm grateful, because when something else feels like it's not an accomplishment, it means there's another area of my life that I'm accomplishing in. My pastor at church always says that there's always a problem you are either going to go into, you are in, or coming out of. We are all in some problem.
Yeah.
We are all in
cycle
some
of
problem.
Life.
It's the cycle of life. Why do I deem myself not worthy of being that cycle?
Keep shining, bro.
Thank you, man.
Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for listening.
It's beautiful.
I'm talking about listening to yourself, about making this thing happen.
Ne?
Yeah.
Kunzima.
Akunzima nix.
Go hard.
Not when you're around. That's Lungelo. Better make sure you watch Engineer Your Life. Lungelo KM. What's the K for, by the way?
Mdletshe. Just my names.
There you go.
Lungelo Mdletshe. They learned something new today.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's your heart today?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I had the best tea in this.